So this is Garage Chicken. This is the big boy I moved outside. He exhibited signs of Common Respiratory Disease. Made a horrible sounding, rattling noise while breathing. We lost one chicken earlier today. I had to put it down because it just was so bad that he couldn't even breathe really, and he wasn't eating or drinking, so I had to put him down. And that was Kentucky Fried. As you can see, I've got antibiotics in his water. I just refilled it because I filled this up this evening, and he's already gone through it once. He's drinking lots of water, which is a good thing. It's a really good sign that he's drinking lots of water. He's eating as well, so that's also a good sign. And he's defecating, and it's solid defecation. It's not like really diarrhea or runny or anything like that. But he's definitely still not out of the woods. He's still got distress going on, but he's not doing the rattling breathing. But I believe he's running a fever. But I'm no expert on birds, but I've got the impression that he is running a fever because when I put my finger up against his neck, it's really warm. But as you can see, he's eating. I give his chances better than 50-50 of surviving this. I think he's going to do well, and I think he's got a good chance of surviving. Unfortunately, KFC, the one I had, Kentucky Fried, he didn't survive. I didn't believe that he even had like a 15% chance of survival, so I went ahead and just put him out of his misery earlier this evening, around 7 p.m. I think it was, because there was just really nothing that could be done for that chicken. And to try to do anything further would have just been cruel. He probably would have died asphyxiating. And what's really alarming with this particular onset is that this morning these chickens were all fine. They exhibited no symptoms. I spent the day today running errands. It's August 29th. And I spent all day running errands. Come home this evening, and my partner, she recognized that two of the chickens were making wheezing, rattling noises, really bad rattling noises while trying to breathe. He's not doing it anymore, so obviously the antibiotics are working, and that's a good thing. And so I immediately separated those two chickens, did some research, and based on the research and video research that I did on YouTube, determined that these chickens were impacted by CRD, which is Common Respiratory Disease. Apparently, it's caused by by a bacteria in the lungs, and the claim is it's due to bad husbandry. But reality is these chickens have been well taken care of. They've been out in the inside, and then they went out in the backyard. The only thing I figure is they picked up an infection by being outside, and that's what the people online are saying is bad husbandry. You're supposed to keep them inside all the time, which I don't do with my chickens. I let them run around the backyard. So they obviously got the infection somehow by being out in the backyard, which is a shame because I really want them to experience, an outside environment. I think that's only fair since they're going to be eventually slaughtered and eaten. Well, these particular chickens, the Cornish crosses. But that doesn't mean they should suffer before they're slaughtered and eaten. But he seems to be improving. But like I said, I don't believe he's out of the woods yet. He's got a ways to go. I'm going to give him a full 2 to 3 days before I think he's out of the woods. At least 48 hours. If he doesn't improve significantly after 48 hours, then he's probably not going to improve much more. And I'll have to determine whether or not I want to put him down. That being said, he's tracking right now with significant improvement. So I don't believe he's going to disimprove unless something rebounds on him with this disease. But as a result, all the chickens in my flock, the young chickens that I just got, these Cornish crosses and the Australopes, as well as my existing older hens, have all been treated. I've put antibiotics in all their water. They're all being treated right now for CRD because apparently the disease is obviously a respiratory disease, so therefore it would be contagious. and I'm not taking any chances. None of the others were exhibiting symptoms, just 2 chickens, this one and KFC. I'm calling him Garage Chicken from here on out. And so only 2 were exhibiting the vocal sounds of sounding like they were breathing through a water, being water tortured. It sounded horrible, like a death rattle. But it was the only 2 that were exhibiting these horrible symptoms. But I'm not taking any chances, so I treated every one of them. You'll see that green fluid in the water. That's an antibiotic that I put in all of the chicken's water. And it's a over-the-counter antibiotic you can buy at chicken feed stores. I had a pouch of it that I bought when I first got my chickens in the event that I ever needed it for some kind of treatment of illness as a standby. I was really lucky with my first couple of flocks, and I never had anything like this. Didn't make this run so lucky. I mean, whenever you buy a flock of chickens, you expect upwards of 50% mortality rate, to lose half of them, in fact. So to only lose 1, maybe 2 to something is still good odds. Unfortunately, I would prefer to have a 100% success rate, because that's where I've been sitting at prior to this last batch of golden sex links that I had. Before that, I've been running at 100%, no loss of any chickens. And other than through dog attack, that doesn't really count as illness or bad husbandry. But yeah, he seems to be doing well. I mean, he's not tip top, but he's definitely improving. And he's drinking lots of water. So, and he's still eating, still pooping. So these are all good signs. But he's definitely still sick. So he needs recovery time. So I'm going to give him recovery time. And I come out here and I talk to him every now and then, and I check on him, make sure he's doing all right. Because chickens are social birds, and they really need, sadly they need other chickens, but I try to keep them company a little bit here and there. And I come out here and I clean his cage out a little bit where he's made messes like that. I go and pick him up so he's not laying in his own filth, because it's a small confined area. I feel really bad for this guy. I'm going to do what I can to get him healthy again and get him back outside. But that's an update.